All right, here we go, Uncle Seth, with some trivia. Since freshmen became eligible in 1973, 4 of them have won Most Outstanding Player of the Final Four. Can you name the first freshman to do it?
Greeny, I have a consortium right here, a think tank, as you might say, and I'm going to say, I'm looking back, I'm going to say it's going to be Never Nervous Purvis, and the reason he won that award is because he kicked Jay Billis's rear end in the matchup against Duke, and Billis could not check him, and he handed him a Most Outstanding Player award.
I was going to say, I hope Billis isn't watching this morning because he still hasn't gotten over it. You are correct. It was Never Nervous Purvis
Fitzy,
Louisville
give me a little
in '86.
Here we go, baby.
Who beat Duke.
Here we go. We're on a roll.
The other 3 freshmen, by the way, were Carmelo Anthony, Anthony Davis, and Tyus Jones. Those have been the 4 freshmen who have been the MVPs, or the most outstanding players, I should say, of the Final Fours. In the meantime, we are now, 11 hours away from tip-off tonight. And I want to dive into the game quickly here, Seth, because I got a lot to do before we want to wrap up for today. Jaxel Landerborg, who was the best player on Michigan. He hurt the knee and the ankle. It sounds like he's going to give it a go. How much will his ability to play determine who ends up winning the championship tonight?
It's absolutely huge. He's the toughest matchup for UConn. He's the one guy they don't have a matchup for. When you look at the matchups, like, does Mullins guard him? No, he's not a matchup for him. So if Jaxel Landerborg isn't 100%, if he can't knock down threes, if he can't beat people off the bounce, if he can't get to the offensive glass, if he can't impact the game with his length, it is a huge impact on the game. So Dan Hurley's got to make a decision. They want this game in the 60s. But there are 2 things that have to happen. One, they got to figure out how they're going to defend and match up with Jaxel. And the second is how they're going to defend Elliot Cadeau. But Jaxel's matchup, to me, is the most important matchup in the game.
If Connecticut wins the game tonight, they're a significant underdog, and just the eye test tells you Michigan is the better team. If Connecticut wins the game tonight, what will we be saying tomorrow about Danny Hurley?
Danny Hurley's in a class by himself, winning 3 championships in 4 years. Danny Hurley has set the standard for the modern-day college men's basketball coach in the NCAA tournament. And his model of his program in terms of player retention, recruiting freshmen, and then just filling in with guys from the portal. But it's different. Think about this, Greeny. 5 years ago, Dan Hurley got knocked out in the first round in the NCAA tournament with New Mexico State. He changed everything they did offensively. He was forward-thinking. He is the face of college basketball. He wins 3 in 4 years. He is the face of college basketball, and his model is going to be basically copied all over America.
I agree. That said, quickly, who's your pick tonight? Michigan, Connecticut, who cuts down the nets?
I think it's going to be Michigan. If Landerborg plays, they have no matchup on Jaxel Landerborg. The size, the length, the athleticism of the front court dominate the game. Now, I would make Elliot Cadeau a scorer. I would not come off of anyone else and give him angles to get to the glass, but I just think that this Michigan team, too long, too athletic, too many different options, too many different ways to beat you offensively, defensively, in a half court, in the transition, on the glass. They just have too many weapons.
I wonder if anyone has a message for you on that front. Dan Orlovsky, you have any comment for Seth Greenberg coming off his pick of Michigan?
Danny-O, you got a shot, Danny-O. Keep the game in the 60s and make 9 threes.
I am disappointed in you.
Keep the game in the 60s, Danny-O, and make at least 9 threes.
Go, Dan.
You know, this is exactly what we and Danny Hurley want. We want no one is picking UConn to win tonight. That's exactly where we want to be. This is what's going to happen. I got a lot of respect for Michigan. I appreciate that they shot all those threes in the big house so they can get ready to have to do it in an NFL stadium in Indianapolis. I know their coach is great. I know they've got great depth. They're long. I can appreciate that. But they don't have the UConn toughness, and that's a real thing. And you know it, Coach. This is the game goes out. Michigan controls. Alex Karaban's one of the greatest college basketball players ever. He's one of the greatest UConn players ever. Karaban hits a game winner tonight. UConn wins.
Let me, by the way, Dan, it's one thing for Seth to pick opposite, but your buddy Taylor Lewan, your friend and mine, wants a piece of this. He tweeted, currently in bet negotiations with Orlovsky.
I have the proposal.
My team has spoke to his team. He has a proposal on his desk. Whether he accepts or not truly depends on how confident he is. What can you tell us, Dan?
This is, by the way, in my bracket, I picked UConn, Michigan to be in the title game. This is what Taylor's proposal is. If UConn wins, he shaves his mustache and has to keep his mustache shaved until calendar year is done, January of 27. Michigan wins. I have to get an earring, one earring, and it has to be a hanging down Michigan M that I have to wear every Thursday morning on Get Up with the Bussin' Boys, him and Will.
Oh, my God.
I need that.
That is a brutal.
I actually want to see that.
I need that.
That's more motivation for Michigan.
That is, okay, the stakes have been set.
I'm cautious. I'm cautious on it. I'm cautious to accept.
Wait a minute, you're not taking the proposal?
Hey, Wood, chill out. He just sent it to me, okay?
Don't get ahead of yourself. For crying out loud.
Woody, put him on the line. He's got to make a decision right now.
We don't have time for the football.
Waffle.
Eric, we don't have.
You're not
Don't be a Wussolowski. Like I need that. Like I need that, bro.
Dan, show everybody, for those who have, for the men's national championship game between UConn and Michigan, all eyes will be on Wolverines star Axel Lendenborg, who says he absolutely plans to play despite suffering a sprained left MCL and ankle in the first half against Arizona Saturday. An MRI came back, quote, very clear. Here's head coach Dusty May on the injury.
I'm sure he'll give it a go tomorrow, but that'll be entirely up to him and the medical staff. They'll tell me if he can go, and if he can, we were laughing at he played the second half like a 38-year-old at the YMCA, and a really good 38-year-old at the YMCA. So whatever version of Yaxel we get, it's going to be somebody that helps us play better basketball.
I don't know why I found that so funny, but I did. I've got Jay Williams and my uncle Seth Greenberg, no relation, who is up with us early this morning, getting set for the game tonight. All kidding aside, Jay, what version of Lendenborg does Michigan need to win this game? I mean, this injury is obviously significant. He's their best player. What do they need from him in order to win tonight?
Well, first off, Grinny, I've been that guy at the YCMA that can barely, YMCA that can barely move and still gives you buckets, right? So all I'm going to tell you is that Yaxel Lendenborg at 50% is better than no Lendenborg at all. And his ability to stretch the floor, his ability with a high basketball IQ to make decisions, Elliot Cadeau is the key to this engine. If he can set up Yaxel the right way, him being on the floor is a monumental thing for this team because of the winning pedigree he brings to the table.
It was a weird game.
He's the one matchup that UConn.
Yeah, go ahead, Seth.
Go ahead. He's the one matchup that UConn doesn't have a matchup for. At 6'9", his ability to shoot the ball, stretch the defense, put it on the floor, his length, his ability to get deflections. He's the toughest matchup in this game for UConn. So if he's not at 100%, if they maybe gap him, if he can't impact the game in terms of getting deflections, he can't impact the game getting to the offensive glass, it's significant. But if he's on the court just because he's on the floor, UConn has to game plan for him, whether he's healthy or not.
It was a weird game Saturday night for anyone who didn't see it. Lendenborg got 2 fouls in the span of like 15 seconds at the very beginning of the game, then came back in and got hurt almost immediately, and they still obliterated an Arizona team that most of us thought, or many thought, was the best team in the tournament. There's another injury tonight, Seth, and that is UConn's solo ball with a sprained foot. He's also expected to play, despite the fact that when last seen he was in a walking boot. Seth, what impact does that have on this game?
They need solo ball shot making, but in this game, especially if Yaxel Lendenborg plays, the guys that are really going to have to step up is Jalen Stewart and Jaden Ross, because that's a matchup. The one problem they have, like I said a second ago, is Lendenborg. So what do you have to do? You got to get bigger at the wings. You don't want Braylon Mullins defending Lendenborg. So you're going to see more Jay Ross and you're going to see more Jay Stewart in this game. So look, they need solo shot making, but I would think that his minutes would have been cut significantly anyway, just because of the matchups. You need size on Lendenborg. The size comes from those guys coming off the bench.
Now, Michigan feels like the markedly better team in this matchup, but on the other side, they've got the coach. I mean, JWill, if Dan Hurley wins this thing tonight and it's 3 out of 4, what will be the right things to say?
I mean, he's closer to John Wooden and to Coach K than any other coach right now in the game of college basketball. And I was going to say off that last comment from Seth, like when we just compare talent on both teams, like I think Michigan is more talented, right? And I think we've had a lot of conversation with basketball coaches and people that follow the game that talk about the genius of Dan Hurley and the style and system that he runs in his European style. Tonight would be the night to showcase that at the pinnacle. with the size and the length, just look at some of the sets that UConn will run. If they win this game, a huge part of it will be because of the coaching genius of Dan Hurley. Because if they're just playing the similar styles, I think Michigan will win 9 out of 10. But if they win this game, it puts them in a different stratosphere that no other coach currently in college basketball is right now.
In the current stage of college basketball, in terms of building a roster, building a system to be competitive each and every year, Dan Hurley set a new standard. Because it's different than it was when Coach K was there. It was different than when with Coach Wooden was doing this thing. Retention, evaluation, recruiting, roster construction, and then style of play. Look, Connecticut wins this game if it's in the 60s. Connecticut wins this game if they knock down 9 threes. Connecticut wins this game if they own the tempo and rhythm of the game. Who controls that? Dan Hurley. If he wins this championship tonight, he's in a class by himself in the new age of college athletics, with pay for play, with collectives, because he's been able to retain the right guys, bring the right guys into the portal, and still recruit freshmen and put them in a situation to be successful.
That's right, and it would be 3 out of 4. And 3 out of 4, no matter what the era, no matter how you slice it, is rarefied air in the history of the sport. Guys, we'll check back with you in a little bit here as we get set for the championship.